From record-breaking League One champions to a team with bold global ambitions, Birmingham City are doing something special. Big names, big signings, and big plans, including 2 Japanese internationals that could reshape the Blues' future on and off the pitch. 111 points in League One, everybody. Now, we thought Ipswich were gargantuan. We thought Ipswich, in terms of what they did at League One level, I thought probably the best team to play at that standard I think I've ever seen in my lifetime at the tender age of 31. What I will say is the double promotion was incredible from Ipswich, absolutely incredible. Now, this is the first team I've seen since then. It's very, very recent history when it comes to Ipswich, obviously. But Birmingham is the team of which I'm looking at right now and thinking to myself, this lot could do the double promotion, 100%. It seems very obvious, but the framework, the structure, the ideology, the philosophy, the blueprint of the Blues right now is very, very exciting. Off the pitch, strong. On the pitch, exceptionally strong. We're going to get into it today. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Birmingham City, are they the next big thing? Now, I wanted to speak about Chris Davies, a relative unknown when he came into the Blues. There was many managers who they could have gone with the new ownership model coming in. I absolutely loved the appointment of Chris Davies because it was an unknown. They went for a coach who could work with young players and would work at League One level to build something, to build some sustenance. Very, very good reputation. Tactically fluid, innovative as well. Somebody who I think could move between different systems, of which we will get onto and which you can probably see here as well. Someone who I think Birmingham City have gone down the right route with. Not just a tried and tested manager, but someone who hasn't really done it on the top stage yet. And by the way, in his rookie season, he's got 111 points. I know he's got all the backing. I understand that. But to get that with the pressure being on is completely superb. They harry players. They've got a real pressing style as well. Birmingham City, they do not give you any time on the ball. And they are fitting players into that system with the likes of Kyogo coming in and with the likes of, in particular, that midfield. When you look at Iwata, when you look at Callum Doyle as well, and others who really can be intense in that Chris Davies system and really enable Birmingham City to potentially get to an even better level. But the recoveries in the final third are absolutely top when it comes to Birmingham at League One level. That is going to be tested because you get better players on the ball in the Championship. However, the players that they're bringing in this window, it's been absolutely extravagant, and that is just going to aid Chris Davies's system going into the Championship. It's going to be fascinating to get into. Now, we know as well, possession heavy side, there is a fluidity when it comes to Davies, defensively and offensively. It's going to be tested in the Championship, of course. League One is a much lesser level, and Birmingham just destroyed that league, of course. The Championship, much better footballers, much better managers, better staff, better facilities. So they're going to be tested, and Chris Davies will be tested. He's had a really good start, his first managerial top-flight campaign and slash job. But what he's going to be doing in the Championship is he's going to be tested by top teams coming down from the Premier League, teams who have built in the Championship and have real sustenance and quality there and have got more money than the rest of the lot at League One, obviously. So that's something that Chris Davies is going to have to build into his pedagogy going forward. Can he develop a philosophy? Can he develop an ethos where he's been pragmatic as well, switching to a 4-3-3? Can we see a 3-4-1-2 with Birmingham, which I think would work, and we saw a few times last season as well, or a 4-2-3-1? What's going to happen? Now, what I do like as well when it comes to Chris Davies is the meticulous planning when it comes to his football training, the 1v1 training, which is well publicized in Birmingham's training schedule, which basically puts a player on a player and they go at each other throughout the training session and they pick out the best bits and the worst bits from their training session and develop that into a plan for each individual player, which I find quite interesting. It's very, very specific, isn't it? Detailed video analysis as well. And this is what you get with a lot of these modern coaches. It is preparation to another level, of which is going to outstrip, they're going to outwork, they're going to outstrip other managers who are in that system because they're hungry. And that's what Birmingham owners will have wanted. They'll have wanted a hungry manager. They'll want hungry players who want to get to that top level. And that's why I feel like Chris Davies was a great manager. Tactical ingenuity, innovativeness, a real sort of want to perfect his craft, but also the dedication to Birmingham City, which is going to be huge in this long-term project. So for me, Davies is a cerebral, high-performance coach who's analytically driven, possession-heavy style is already reshaping Birmingham City. And I think that committed nature to his job right now and to the craft is only going to aid Birmingham, and I think that is going to be massive in them potentially getting back-to-back promotions. So they've already had a bit of the taste of the Premier League, haven't they, when it comes to Birmingham, and they're not yet there yet, but that game against Newcastle was unbelievable. They were so unlucky in that game as well. A few bits were caught my attention as well. Jay Stansfield going there from Fulham, of which has been greatly publicised, but what an unbelievable signing that is. And the competition that they've got now with Furuhashi, who they've just brought in, what a signing that is. And Jay Stansfield up front is going to be, it's exactly what you want in football. It's competition, and competition normally breeds success. And Birmingham City are going about this by building players, building competition, ultimately building a framework which you expect overall to be really successful here. Now, they're already teasing an Amazon docuseries, which apparently is out in the next 7 days, but Wagner and Tom Brady coming in has given them such an almost Wrexham-style impact with Rob McElhenney and Ryan Reynolds. But I just love what they're building right now. It appears very Wrexham, and that is the irony of them being in the same division in the same, you know, year and then coming up at the same time is strange, but it's brilliant. Apparently Birmingham are looking to build a new stadium as well, which is obviously fantastic for the infrastructure and commercial venture and tourism coming in as well. If you are building such a project that they appear to be doing, the £3 billion sport project as well, the sports quarter project, of which is going on in Birmingham as well, which is going to acquire more jobs. It's going to build almost like a village in and around the ground, which is going to be fantastic to see. Very similar to that at the Etihad, of which they've managed to just build this village in and around the stadium. But they've got global branding ambitions, and I think for a League One side, that and Wrexham is something of which you look at, and a lot of clubs are envious of, a lot of championship clubs are envious of as well. They are really building something right now, of which is making everybody else very green. They've got a lot of money. They've really invested, I think, in Chris Davies, which is important when it comes to a young manager who's hungry to prove himself. I genuinely have got him on to get back-to-back promotions here. I'm certain of it. Now, let's go through the confirmed signing, shall we? That's on my sheet here. Kyogo Furuhashi, Kanya Fujimoto, Tommy Doyle, Damari Gray, Bright Asai Samuel, Phil Newman, James Beadle, Taylor, Gardner, Hickman. Let's go through every single one of those. So we'll go from back to the top there. Versatility completely when it comes to Taylor, Gardner, Harden. We're all very aware of that, and familiar to Birmingham City, which is massively important with this new transition. James Beadle, Brighton, England under 21 Euro winning goalkeeper, huge. Phil Newman, a little bit more of an unknown, but Bundesliga 2 defensive upgrade. You've got to do that. You've got to build from the back when you're Birmingham City. Bright Asai Samuel, Fenerbahce, big profile signing, someone who's been around the circuit now for a while. I would say wide threat and a potentially defensive upgrade on Ethan Laird. Let me know in the comment section below if you agree with that. Damari Gray, someone who's been around the circuit, someone who's done it in the Bundesliga, someone who's done it in the Premier League, the Championship. A brilliant signing, coming back to the Blues where he started his career as well. Makes a lot of sense, not just for the sentimental value, but also for the quality value. Tommy Doyle coming in, unbelievable signing. Arguably the signing of the window so far when it comes to the Championship. Creative engine. Wolves, could he have played Premier League level for a newly promoted side? I think there's a conversation there, but the project at Birmingham is so massive, so attractive, so gargantuan, it makes a lot of sense for him to go there, and I wonder what the wages are they're paying him as well. Kanya Fujimoto as well, coming in from Gil Vicente. Free. What a pickup that is. Can play attacking midfield, can play right midfield as well. A technical midfielder, of which I believe is going to flourish in the Championship. Now, the big one as well, Kyogo Furuhashi. Someone who could actually knock Jay Stansfield out of this side. Supposedly up to 10 million quid. Was done it for Celtic before. Man City were apparently looking at bringing him in at one stage last season. Prolific, experienced, and someone who at Championship level is absolutely outstanding. Now, could he go to a 4-4-2? Could he go to a 4-3-3 here? Could he complement and go to a 4-2-4 with Birmingham City, and just the amount of attacking talent they've got? But what I like about the composition about all this is he's built from the back when it comes to Chris Davies, when it comes to Wagner and Knighthead, etc. When you look at the likes of Beadle, when you look at Taylor Hart, Gardner Hickman, Phil Newman, Bright Asai Samuel, but then look when you're going forward as well. Midfield enforcement when it comes to Doyle. You've got Gray up top as well. Pace, and someone who's worked at Championship level before and been successful. And then up top, flipping out. This is pretty impressive. Now, the special feature is the Japanese influence, and we're going to call it the land of the rising brum. So let's talk about the sense here when it comes to Birmingham City, and it's Kyogo coming in. We just mentioned that, but 85 goals for Celtic. Looked at by Man City, peak years, and 100% going to be a fan favourite at the Blues. Fujimoto, free transfer. Just spoke about him as well. Technically gifted attacking midfielder. Unknown quantity, but once again, upward trajectory, high ceiling. When it comes to all these expected assists, expected goal statistics, he's right up there, which normally insinuates that he's going to be a really decent sign, especially if you pair him with someone who's very good when it comes to that number 9, Stansfield. Kyogo been up there. Iwata, now he was signed in 23-24, 8 goals from deep midfield, made a massive impact in Chris Davies' team, has got to stay in that midfield and also gives them a little bit of difference in what they can do, a little bit of fluidity in that midfield. Do you want to go to a 2 where he can play in the midfield, or do you want to go to a 3 as well? Deep midfield, but absolutely key to Chris Davies' system. Now, the strategic implications here are really important when it comes to the Japanese market and the Asian market as well, when you're looking at Birmingham City's whole pie here. Japan is a rapidly growing football market of which we see Celtic have dipped into it and done so well when it comes to value for players as well, what they've been able to get on the pitch, and then crucially what they've been able to sell them on for, which is obviously a massive component when it comes to PSR. 3.81 billion projected apparel market by 2032. When it comes to merchandise, that is highly important when it comes to viability. Birmingham tapping into the J-League fan culture, of course, means merchandise. Asia tours, absolutely unequivocally important when it comes to the growing of a brand. Brady and Nighthead will know this, of course. Now, there is almost a Japanese trinity in that Birmingham side as well, and there's a big Asian market as well. And like Celtic, they're trying to tap into that almost global appeal when it comes to the Asian market as well. Not only just for player quality and caliber, but obviously the broadcasting appeal of going to that market as well and being able to sell shirts, sell tours, and ultimately sell Birmingham City. Now, what Birmingham can't do, though, is take the championship lightly. This is a much greater step up. And when we're talking about the top 6, which I believe will be their aim this season, I don't think it's even going to be staying up. I think potentially we'll see towards the back end of the window, when you're bringing in players like Kyogo for 10 million quid, maybe we'll see even more players come in who fit that mold. And you're looking at it and going, wow, they are big, big signings. But I do look at injury depth, and maybe there's going to be some reinforcement needed for Cochrane and Clara at left back and left centre back for me, in terms of maybe just athleticism that is needed for the championship, especially if you want to be pushing for the top 6. You've got to invest in that, and I think that's maybe where Clara and Cochrane, as much as I like them, fall down a little bit. I do like that right hand side now that they've got that balance on that right hand side. Maybe the left hand side just needs a little bit of bolstering in there. The championship step up is really, really big right now. So I think when you're looking at that top 6 as well, which is what we're talking about specifically, it's not just Birmingham City staying up. It is that top 6 if they are to aim for that. That step up is massive. And those teams that are coming down, there is a huge trickle down effect, and there is a huge gap, in my opinion. So there's going to have to be more signings brought in for Birmingham City. There's going to have to be a time to gel as well, and they've got to hit the ground running for me. But Birmingham, for me, aren't just building a team. They're building an identity. They're building a brand. And I think with Davies at the helm, a young, hungry manager, big backing from Brady, and huge signings like Kyogo, huge signings, obviously, like Fujimoto. The Blues might be officially back. Are Birmingham City back? Everybody let me know in the comment section below. But we'll have to wait and see with this one. I'm so fascinated by Birmingham City. I am going to put them in my top 6 when it comes to predictions, 100%. It's just whether or not they can get a few more signings in to aid that athleticism and physicality that you need to push to that top 6. And we'll have to wait and see. Guys, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Blues, let me know what you think in the comment section below. And everybody else, like, comment, subscribe as well. Conor McGilligan. See you in a bit.